Hi, I'm Melanie Felvis. I'm the founder and director of Your Preschools, Inc. Under that umbrella, we have 4 Montessori schools: Smithville Christian Preschool, Vineland Christian Preschool, Grassy Christian Preschool, and Dunville Christian Preschool, where we are today. I'm standing in one of our 2 CASA programs, and we also have a toddler room. Today I want to focus on what you might expect if your child joins us for JK and SK. Our CASA program starts in preschool and goes through JK and SK. Ideally, the children are with us for the whole 3-year cycle. The skills that they start with, they end up building on. So we've had children here that have come for the 3 years, graduated senior kindergarten, and they've been reading chapter books, they've been doing addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Not every child is going to see the same results because they all work at their own pace. When a child enters our Montessori program, we focus on the phonetic sounds in the language area. So our phonetic sounds are done in lessons, one-on-one lessons with the teacher with our sound cards. They have a sandpaper letter that the children are tracing with their finger. This is building those writing skills for future. We talk about the sound that the letter makes, k for cat, because when they start to read, they need to know k, a, t, as opposed to c, a, t. A lot of our students are working on the sounds. Once they know about 90% of their sounds, they actually move into reading. So at that time, they're starting to put these letters together. K, a, t makes cat. They'll start by bringing home a piece of paper with some 3-letter phonetic words. And after they master that, they'll move into our Bob books. So these books have very simple drawings with words on the page that they can sound out. This helps them build their confidence in reading. After they make their way through the Bob books, they'll go into our primary phonics readers. So again, simple drawings, mostly 3-letter words that they can sound out. Each reader will go through a different sound. For instance, the first one had the short A sound. It was repeated throughout the reader until they can understand that. And then they move on to the next one. If a child has finished all of our primary phonics readers, and some have, then they move on to chapter books. Also in the language area, we have workbooks. So once they get to the stage that they are able to read some phonetic words, then they're able to print and read these words in a workbook. We also have other language jobs where they're forming different letters, they're forming different words, or forming a sentence. The sky's the limit as to how far the children can go because they're all working at their own pace. The children that enter our program start printing on paper. After they've mastered that, they could be working in a printing book. So here's an example of somebody. The teacher has written in highlighter so we can see the children's pencil lines. This child is tracing the date and tracing a sound. Some of them will actually get up to the point where they're printing themselves and that they're printing sentences. You might recognize the pink tower from some of our other videos. This is a staple in the Montessori classroom. In our toddler room, they just have 4 or 5 of the blocks. In the CASA program, they learn to arrange all 10 from biggest to smallest. So the children would arrange the pink tower and the brown stairs like this. Once they have mastered that concept, they can start doing extensions. And the extension first might look like building the brown stairs vertically. It might look like building the pink tower horizontally. And then it might look like doing a combination of the biggest piece of the brown stairs with the biggest piece of the pink tower and alternating. We have an entire binder full of extensions that the children can do once they've mastered this. Some people might be asking, if my preschooler was doing this, are they not getting bored in JK and SK with the same material? Because of the extensions, they're still being challenged. In a similar fashion, our red rods are normally arranged from longest to shortest along the edge of the mat. Once they have developed that skill, one of the extensions is to form this maze. This is always the highlight of the day if one of our older friends can make this maze because the students take off their shoes, line up, and walk through the maze. Our Montessori CASA program has children from multi-ages. We have preschoolers, JKs, and SK students. The younger children are able to learn from the older children, and the older children can take pride in setting that example for the younger children and helping them. In the math area of the CASA classroom, the children are often starting with the sandpaper numbers. They can trace them with their fingers, They can recognize that number and even play games. So with this, we might say, let's go find 2 books, and we'll count out 2. We can also use counters. So if it was 2, we have 1, 2. So we're working on understanding the quantity. Also in the math area, our children could be tracing dotted numbers and even working their way into the teens. After they have mastered that, and their fine motor control allows, they could actually be working in a math book. These squares are pretty small, so they need to work up to this point. Once the children can recognize the numbers from 0 to 9, they can work with the teen board. The teen board has number 10 all the way down. The children can slide the numbers in to make new numbers, 11, 12, 13, all the way up to 19. This helps them recognize numbers 10 to 19. They can also count the beads. So if we're counting these, this is 10 plus another one makes 11. So you can put 11, 12, 13, and they're understanding that number represented. After the teen board, we move into the 10 board. So the 10 board has numbers 10 through 90, and the children are asked to make random numbers such as 73. The teacher might write these numbers out or might work with the student to form these numbers and learn from 10 to 99. Once the children can identify their numbers from 0 to 99, they're off to the races with math and adding. One of the jobs we use for adding is the addition strip board. So this student has, in her math book, been asked to add 3 plus 4. She puts a red 3, a blue 4, and that brings her to number 7. So here she's understanding the concept. If I add this plus this, it makes this. In a similar fashion, when the child is learning subtraction, multiplication, and division, they can use jobs such as this as well. This is called our stamp game. Here the children are learning place columns, ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands. They're actually learning to add 4-digit numbers plus 4-digit numbers and counting out the tiles to see what they form. As mentioned previously, the students in the Montessori program work at their own pace. Students are working at different areas at different levels at different times. It's the teacher's job to know what they're interested in, where they can progress, and meet them there. There are many benefits to staying with us for JK and SK. First of all, we have the ratio. Our ratios are 1 to 8. A lot of times when you're getting into a traditional JK and SK program, you have a lot more students in the class. In most of our CASA classes, we have a maximum of 16 students. And that's still with a 1 to 8 ratio, so it means there are at least 2 educators in the class. Secondly, the students have been in this environment, they know their peers, they know the order of the classroom, they're confident, and they can continue to learn from there. If you'd like to know more about our JK and SK program, or more about our other sites, you can watch our other videos, which are on our Facebook page or our website, yourpreschools.info, or please feel free to reach out with your questions. Thanks for watching and have a great day.